inequality is an inequality that, well, what's a compound sentence when in math, not in math class, in English class? Yeah. Is it compound when you put two sentences together? So you know what, in math, we don't really make up, we're kind of boring, us math people. We don't really make up new words. Compound inequalities are when you put two inequalities together. That's pretty much it. We have two types. We have and we have or. So an and would mean they overlap one another. So anyone who is older than 13 years old and not greater than 18 may attend the dance. Okay, so let's define a variable a second. How about, what do you want? Oh, boring. That's okay, I like boring. X. X is going to be the age, and you can draw an arrow if you don't like the age of, we'll say, eligible dancers. That's a fancy way of saying it. Age of people who can go to the dance, if you'd rather. Okay. Now, for ands, you can write them separate or you can write them together. Ands are cool that way. Ors, you can't do that. So anyone who's older than 13, so that would mean X is greater than 13 and not greater than 18, so and X is less than or equal to 18. Okay. So I want you to think about that. That would mean that there's overlap, right? The ages that are more than 13 and less than or equal to 18. Okay. And so here's how I write it together. So this is one option for you. You put the X in the middle. The symbols are always pointing the same direction. They can't go opposite directions. They would have to be this way and this way. And I put the 13 here and the 18 here. And let me show you why that works. I'm going to put my finger here with the X. X is less than or equal to 18. X is greater than 13. Do you see how that works? Okay. So, and you can write this way. You can put that X in the middle and have the symbols going the same way. All right, let's graph this. So now, I don't like that there's tick marks on there. There's going to need to be a 13 and an 18 somewhere. I don't know. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There we go. I made it work. I know, if it's bothering you that I have only some of the numbers, you can write them all in. Or you can just do 10 and 15 and 20. Alright, so when you graph an and, it's going to look like one graph because there's overlap. So what kind of circle should I put on 13? Open. What kind of circle should I put on 18? Closed. And everything in between. I'm going to use a darker color. Open, close, and then I'm going to graph in between there. And these are then all of the different ages of people who could go to the dance. I'm going to label my variable there. Alright, so there's my ands. Ands you can write together. Ors you can't. It's like this or this, and on the graph it looks the same way. You're going to actually have two different graphs. So here we go. This often happens. Us people who are like just regular age, maybe you don't think that I'm regular age, we just don't get any discounts. But sometimes you get a discount like if you're younger or if you're older, like senior discounts, or for, they'll call them kids I know you're not maybe little kids anymore. So discounts are available at the movies if you are under 16 or 65 or more years of age. Okay, so I'm going to write down, we'll do X again. And X would be represent ages that receive I before E except after C. Okay, discounts. I still have to do that. That's an E. There's a big blob there because I stopped my pen. All right. Now for this one, I can't put them together. I'm going to do the two separate ones. How would I write this one if you are under 16? X is less than 16. And then I actually have to write the word or. And how would I write 65 or more years of age? X is greater than or equal to 65. Okay. Oh, yucky, yucky. I don't like these tick marks here. I'm going to remove them for next. We're going to just kind of ignore them. Because this, I don't want to go all the way from 16 to 65. All right. So I'm going to put, I'll put 0 over here, and then I'll put like 16 somewhere over here, and 65 somewhere over here. We'll just ignore those tick marks, okay? So now in an OR graph, I actually do this graph, and then I do this graph. They're going to be going opposite ways. So X is less than 16. What kind of circle am I going to use? Open circle, and it's going to go to the left. And you can even write it right. Sometimes I write it there to help me. Okay, that's the X is less than 16. Or, now I'm going to go over here. This is going to be closed circle going to the right. So this is my X's. Do you see the difference between those two? And together, you can write them together. Or not together, you can't write them together. Don't try to put them together. It doesn't make any sense. We're going to see in a second. Below, I have titled weird. They don't make sense. All right. So here's your job. Weird or not weird? You've got to figure it out. Weird would mean that doesn't make sense. So here's what we're going to really think about. Let's put our finger here. This is written as an and, correct? Okay. So does this make sense that X is greater than 5, right? X is greater than 5 and X is less than 8. Can that happen at the same time? Is that weird or not weird? Can X be greater than 5 and less than 8 at the same time? So, not weird, right? I'm going to write good. Not weird. This is fine. It's an and. Okay. Now, this is where I'm telling you, you got to have, you can't write ors this way. This looks like an and, right? And if something's an and, isn't there overlap? They can be true at the same time. But read this carefully. A is less than 16. Okay, think about that. A is less than 16 and greater than or equal to 65. Can those two things happen at the same time? No, we shouldn't write it this way then. We're going to say it doesn't make sense. So we would call this a weird. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. And what I want to point out to you is this one is written, do you see how the signs are pointing the same way? Do you also see how they're pointing like that way? And do you see how this is a smaller number than that? Okay. That's kind of what we're looking for inequalities. Again, this one is weird. I'm telling you. M is greater than 3 and M is greater than 8. Well, sometimes it is, right? But that doesn't make sense. Is all of strings greater than 3 greater than 8 at the same time? No. So this is, again, this is not making sense. And so you want to make sure, how could you tell even without really thinking about it? Are these signs pointing the same way? No, they're not. If this had gone this way, would that make sense? Yeah, it could be less than 8 and greater than 3. Okay, cool, you're getting this. All right, again, these are pointing the wrong way. N is less than 12 and N is less than -2. Now, this is, again, an inequality that doesn't make sense because it's written like an and. If it's written like an and, there should be a complete overlap. Okay? And so I'm going to say, again, this doesn't make sense. So we got not weird, 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 weird. Okay, so is it Shayana or Shayana? Shaya. You go by Shaya? Okay. Did you have a question or a comment? But is everything that's less than 2 less than -2? Oh, I'm sorry. Is everything that's less than 12 less than -2?
Yes.
Really? How about 5? Okay, are you seeing it now?
Yeah.
So some things would work in there, but it would have to all be in between for it to make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what you were saying. You were trying to say it, yeah. All right. So in general, we want those. If you're going to have an and, they got to be going this way, and this one has to be less than that one to make it make sense. Cool.